What is up, my flippin', dippin', sippin', penis tippin' bitches? You ready for Spawn issue number 196? Let's go. The bitch that was rescued last issue doesn't know what happened. They ask if it was like God or something. She was like, this wasn't no angel. Once they get home, Sarah tells Jim, can you tell Mark that I went home with Judy? I just want her to feel good and safe, you know? And he's like, yeah, no problem. And then she's like, I noticed your cough is fine now. And then they drive away and he's like, oh, fuck. Jim is the guy healing everyone. If you guys remember, the dude had like, a fucking, smoker's lungs. And he got healed instantly. Just tons of people have been getting cured instantly from these diseases or their injuries or whatever. And Mark was just instantaneously cured right here when he was around Jim Downing. Then we see one man walking home and he gets fucking knocked back by Spawn. And he's like, if you stutter, I'll rip your fucking head off. He asks the man, tell me this. Who is patient 47? And then this man's like, I don't know. And he's like, you just stuttered. And he's like, wait a minute. He's like, I won't ask again. Who is patient 47? And Spawn pretty much takes out all this information from this guy. This guy was hired to do more research on the things that they wanted to research. And Spawn asks him, what do they research? And he's like, everything. DNA restructuring, model sampling, all these different things. They're pretty much engineering people. He mentions how the last one was patient 47. These people pretty much wanted him to create a god. Mark once again tells Sarah that he needs to get an interview with Jim Downing, and she's like, well, you're gonna need to tell me what you're interviewing him for. And he's like, I can't. Not yet anyway. And he's like, let me ask you something. Do you believe in Jesus Christ? And she's like, yes, of course. Then she goes on this huge rant about Jesus as Sarah normally does. And then she pretty much states, you won't find anything more about him or who he really is. And then he says, oh, I already know who he is. Then we skip to the mob boss's bar. We see the big ass bouncer. He's like, you ain't entering. And then Jim Downing just smashes him through the door. The mob boss immediately recognizes Jim Downing. He says, patient 47, nice to see you again. And Jim Downing says, I want to know the man who put out the hit, the dude who blew up the whole fucking house. And he's like, so we're negotiating, are we? Jim Downing once again demands answers for who he really is. But this man says, you are arrogant as always. We have no use for you. Your name doesn't matter anymore. You were supposed to die, not be in a coma. Something was keeping you alive. And Jim Downing says, you won't kill me. You don't have the balls. I'm too valuable for that shit. And then the mob boss says, take him back to the lab. And then they say, it's hilarious how we control you and how pathetic you are. Jim Downing freaks out and his Spawn suit covers his body. The mob boss says, you're lucky I'm gonna take you in alive. And then Jim Downing says, you don't understand. I control the dark. The lights turn off, and then when they turn back on, everyone in the room is dead besides the mob boss. The dude asks, what did you just do to my men? He's like, I took them into the darkness, and I scared them to death. Do you know how fucking OP that is? Yes, it is confirmed, guys. Spawn can scare you to death. Anyway, he pretty much takes revenge because the guy turned him into this terrible fucking experiment. He chokes the guy in the air and tells him, you were the one who did it. You were the one who gave the orders. And the guy repeatedly says, no, it wasn't me. No. And then he snaps his neck. And then the Violator comes out of nowhere. And Spawn says, what am I? And the Violator says, exactly what you're supposed to be. The Violator then takes him to Al Simmons' dead body. And he says, hey, this was the best soldier I ever knew. He explains to Jim Downing how God and Satan are the same, which they essentially are. They just want to weaponize human souls. That's all they want to do. And you now have taken this power that this man had, and you could use it for something great. Violator explains to Jim Downing how he can save human souls from both heaven and hell. He just needs to side with the Violator, take these medals, which are, Spawn's iconic fucking metal skull things that are on him, and be the leader of Hell's army, be the general. Those skulls represent the human losses that heaven and hell have corrupted. They've corrupted all of these human souls, all of these humans, and they've destroyed this planet. Just like they've destroyed your life too, Jim Downing. So, embrace all of it. Embrace the madness. Embrace the evil. Embrace the chaos. Become a true Hellspawn. And look at that goddamn page right there. Oh, wow, that's hot. And that, my friends, wraps up spawn issue number 196. Like the video if you enjoyed the video. If you didn't enjoy the video, don't be a pussy. Like the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.